it's Black Friday and Cyber Monday is coming up real fast, and before I give my recommendations, it's really easy to get suckered into buying things that we just don't need. A sale doesn't mean you're saving money. It's only saving money if it's something that you needed before the sale and not just because of the sale. And maybe it helps to break down your needs into 3 different sections: operations, investments, and enjoyment. Operations are things that you actually need to run your business, whether it's hard drives or batteries or a computer. Investments, in my mind, are things that you don't actually need, but they're gonna make you or your company better. For example, I invested in FPV drones this year. I didn't need FPV drones, but it was a way for me to learn a new skill, and now I have this new skill that not too many people have. You could also spend money on a masterclass, for example, and invest in yourself. Number 3 is enjoyment. For example, I bought this random surfboard for the office. I did not need this, but yeah, we gotta also enjoy life, so there are things that you wanna buy just purely for enjoyment. Like maybe a PS5 to survive the next lockdown, I don't know. And I do a lot of research before I buy anything, and these are all things that I've used and can recommend. And I don't know if any of these will be on sale, but that doesn't matter because we're only buying things that we need, not just because they're on sale. So these are the products that I love and use every single day and can fully recommend. Speaking of Fully, this desk is incredible. It's the Jarvis from Fully, and not only does it look super nice, but it's really strong and durable too. Just ignore the rat's nest of my cable management. I really gotta work on that. If you edit a lot, I definitely recommend getting a standing desk. It's really good for your health, and I get way less tension headaches now. And I used to have an IKEA standing desk, but this thing is so much better. My IKEA one broke on me once. You guys remember that? Peter broke it.
I think I just broke his desk.
The Fully Jarvis is on a different level, and I like all the little accessories, like this plug they have, and I like the controls that they have. So you can have different set heights for the table. You press one button and it goes to that height. I gotta be honest, when I first saw this chair, I was like, there's no way this thing is good. But after using it for just a little bit, you realize how good it is. It's really ergonomic, and no matter how you wanna sit on it, it just works. By far my favorite office chair I've ever used. I think it's called the Capisco. Well done, Fully. You completely changed my mind about this chair. Cameras. I could talk about cameras all day long, but here's what I say when people ask me for camera recommendations. First off, your iPhone. If you have an iPhone and you're just starting out, just use this. It's really good. After that, for the lower budget cameras, I'd probably go for like a Canon RP or a Sony a6400. I don't think there's a clear winner in the lower budget cameras, but honestly at this point I would just buy something used. My favorite mirrorless camera right now is the Sony a7S III. It is incredible. But if you need a photo first camera, if you're mostly a photographer and you need the higher end stuff, the Canon R5 is really great too. In terms of cinema cameras, I think entry level, the Sony FX6 is kind of the clear choice. The image is incredible and the specs are just insane. It basically has everything you would ever need in a cinema camera. But if you want to spend a little bit more, I do recommend the Canon C500 Mark II. I really like it. I use this thing as my studio camera still. It's a great cinema camera. When it comes to lenses, I am a sucker for the 16 to 35 range. This is what I use almost all the time, probably 90% of the time. If you want to go a little bit fancier, I love the Sony 24mm f1.4. Great lens. If you want to go for the heavy hitters, the Sigma 35mm f1.2. Insane, just incredible. Those are my go-to lenses that I use 99% of the time, and I do have to say I do miss the Canon 15 to 35 f2.8 with IS. Image stabilizer in a wide lens like that, it's really nice to have. And I just want to say none of these companies, none of these products are sponsoring this video or telling me what to say, but we do have a sponsor. This video is sponsored by Millino, which is a tool for planning creative projects. I've started to use Millino to plan, to organize, and keep track of my YouTube videos all in one space. Essentially, it's a blank canvas that you can use to organize and visualize your creative project. Here I have my YouTube board where I can come up with ideas and build out each idea while keeping track of what stage that video is in. For example, my Sony FX6 review, I have everything in here from my to-do list to the script to the location that we're gonna be using all in one place. And other team members can view and comment on your project. Plus, there's a mobile app so you can take it with you while you're out filming. They even have theme templates to get you started really fast and easy. And the best part is it's absolutely free to try and to see if it works for your creative workflow. Thank you so much, Millino, for sponsoring this video. Hard drives, boring, I know. But for portable hard drives, I love these Samsung SSDs. They're just so small and super fast for transferring. I could not recommend these more. But for the office storage, I love this Synology DS1819 Plus. I think you guys need a better name for it, but this thing is incredible. I used to use these guys, the Drobos. Not as good, so many issues. The Synology RAID is so good. If you don't know a RAID, if one of these hard drives in here breaks, you're not gonna lose all of that data. It makes it a much smarter and more secure way of storing your files, but this thing is also accessible anywhere in the world as long as you have internet. I could be at my home office, or heck, I could be in the mountains of Norway, and I would be able to access the footage, the photos, all of that stuff on that RAID anywhere I want as long as I have an internet connection. You have no idea how handy that is. Plus, if I want to back up files, I don't have to hook up my computer to that hard drive. I can just send it through the Wi-Fi. It just makes it really handy. Synology, well done. Drobo, not so much. Now this is very much enjoyment first. The Onewheel is by far my favorite electric device, vehicle, whatever you want to call it. I've had a Onewheel for about 3 years now, and I still love riding it every single time I use it. Whereas electric skateboards and stuff, they kind of get old pretty quickly. Plus, whether you believe it or not, the Onewheel is actually a really great cinematic filmmaking tool. Like you saw in the FX6 review, we use this thing to get really cool shots. And the best part is that it's hands-free, so you can have both hands on the camera or gimbal or whatever you're using. The Onewheel is incredible. I would recommend the XR, especially if you're riding at all on trails or anything like that. But the Pint, it's pretty fun too. My favorite phone, you guys saw the videos, the iPhone 12 mini. This thing is incredible. Sometimes less is more. And the biggest thing that I was worried about, battery life, I haven't had any issues with. I've been ending every single day with about 15 to 20% power still without having to charge once. But that's obviously gonna depend on how much you use your phone. The only thing that I don't like, it's sometimes really hard to tell the difference which is the front and which is the back on this black one. So I'll pull it out of my pocket and I'll try to swipe up on the back and then, oh wait, that's the back. And then the other thing is this bottom is a little bit sharp. When I'm doing like a swipe up from the bottom, it's kind of just not that nice on the thumb. Those are my only two gripes so far. Camera bags, I'm still using this douchebag backpack. I don't even know what they call it. As kind of my daily driver, smaller backpack. When I only need a few things in my bag. And then of course, when I need a little bit more, Peter's backpack from Nomadic is incredible. Especially for things like travel, which, not doing that much of that recently. ND filters, of course, Peter's Polar Pro Signature Series. These things are incredible and they just got better with this version 2. Well done, guys. Really good stuff. In terms of microphones, I love this electronic microphone from Sony, the ECM-B1M, is that what it's called? It's so hard to remember these product names sometimes, but I have had some issues, but I still love how small it is, no cords, but it is also pretty expensive. Before that, I always used Rode microphones like this Video Mic Pro Plus, I believe it's called. Really great. The micro is awesome. And then for my studio cinema setup, the NTG3, I bought this probably like 4 years ago and it's still incredible. In terms of lights, guess what I recommend? Aperture makes by far my favorite lights. Not only are they high quality, the light looks good, but they're also so easy to control with either a remote or the app. You can just control all the lights using an app, which is so nice and convenient, especially if you're working with a small crew or just by yourself. You can be behind your camera and be controlling the lights remotely so you can actually see what's happening. My go-to is the 120D Mark II with this light dome softbox, but I did also order this giant softbox off of Amazon, and this is usually my main key light. And they have everything from these small aperture MC lights, which are RGB. You can have them as any color you want, and they have all these party tricks, different light effects, super nice. They also have these bulbs, which are perfect for practicals. You can change the color to anything you want. Again, control it from the app. But they also have big boy lights like the 300D Mark II, which is super powerful, really nice. Or this massive Nova P300C panel. This thing is crazy powerful. And again, you can change it to whatever color you want. Okay, that's a little too bright. Any color you want, and you can control this thing with an app. That is incredible. I cannot state how good that is. If you're investing in lights, Aperture is the way to go. The only other light that I use are these Nan light tubes, which are really nice. Aperture doesn't make a tube light like this. These are RGB, so you can make them any color you want, but you can't control them with an app or remote. So that's a downside. In terms of gimbals, it's an easy recommendation for me. The Ronin RS2, which I'm just too tired to set up right now, is my favorite gimbal by far. I've tried pretty much every gimbal out there, and the RS2 is one of those gimbals that once you set it up, you get it going, it just works the way you want it to work. It's lightweight, the size is right, it's powerful, and most importantly, it just works the way you want it to. I think you will like it. Speaking of DJI, if you're looking for drones, you really can't go wrong with a DJI drone. I love the new Mini 2. It's really great. By far the best drone you can get for beginners, but even for me, I end up carrying this thing a lot just because it's so small and lightweight. If I want a little bit more quality, the Mavic Air 2, this thing flies so well. The image is great, and you get those nice slow motion speeds. If you want really good quality, I end up going with the Mavic 2 Pro. It's not a big drone at all, but the image quality is really great. Action cameras, it's an easy choice for me. The Insta360 One X2 is by far my favorite action camera. You guys know how much I like using 360 cameras as action cameras. The results are incredible, mind-blowing. You're like, wait, how did that happen? How did this thing capture that? Unlimited angles, plus it's way more fun actually using this camera while you're doing whatever the activity is, whether it's snowboarding or jet skiing, whatever it is. I could not recommend the Insta360 One X2 more. And I know for a fact that this thing is on sale. I've gotten so many emails. Stop the emails, Insta360 One X2, recommended. Lastly, home theater. This one's a big one on Black Friday. I could not recommend LG OLED TVs more. If you're like me and you love watching movies and TV shows and you want the best quality image, you want the colors to look accurate, you want the detail, you want the HDR, the LG OLED TVs are so good. I bought one for our home about a year ago, and then LG sent this one for my office, and it is just incredible. I could not say more good things, especially paired with the Sonos sound system. It just feels like you have a movie theater at home. And without fail, every single time music or an action scene starts in a movie or TV show, my wife tells me to turn it down. And I love just blasting it because it sounds so good. LG Sonos is a great combo. And as a bonus, the newest addition to the office, these IK iLoud studio monitors. I bought them for the Mac Pro setup with the recommendation from my friend Jonathan Morrison, an incredible tech YouTuber. And these things are really great. They're not crazy expensive, but the quality is really nice. Paired with the Apollo Solo audio interface, it works really great. I've never had studio monitors for my editing setup, and I'm quickly falling in love with it. So there we go. Those are the products that I recommend and use all the time. And if you're needing one of these and they're on sale right now, it's a great time to buy. But only if you have the money, and no credit on your card does not count. I've literally never bought anything unless I had the money up front for it, except for my house. Also good to remember, more stuff does not make you happier. It probably does the opposite and makes you less happy. And a sale does not mean you are saving money. Do not buy shit you do not need. You know what's better than a Black Friday sale? Saving and investing your money so that then you can buy that product for free. That is way better than any sale ever. Good luck, stay strong, enjoy the weekend. Happy Thanksgiving to all you Americans. Bye.